Shalom, 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 and welcome to the cosmic world where we think big. This is your girl, Dream Jade, and I'm back with another one. Oh man, y'all. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing well. Let me try to be smart and actually put my phone on silent. Um, I want to take some things back that I said about black men and Blackistan, um, because I literally had a crazy conversation, a very triggering, very humble conversation I had with somebody I know, and it was a conversation with a black man. But once again, he's Haitian, so the experience is slightly different than if he was African American, but all in all, very much the same. And he told me some like mortifying things about his childhood, right? Some things that really made my stomach just like just I just turn like the stories that he was telling me was just so disturbing. I can't believe there's so many black little boys and black little girls going through this, and we're wondering why we're having the problem that we're having in the community with all this murder, because the things that this man told me would make a murderer, like period. Like no baby, no toddler, no child, no teenager should go through the things that he told me he went through. You know what I'm saying? And it made me soften up my heart. Like when it comes to talking about the black community, I really feel more pity than anything. And then I feel very sympathetic and empathetic because when I do my life coaching, and especially when I talk to black men, because believe it or not, black men confide with me. Um, a lot of them tell me some crazy stuff about their childhood, and I'm starting to realize that our childhood truly molds us. You know what I mean? Like that is going to most likely 97% chance of being the issue of what goes on into your adult life. Like 97% of the time, if you have issues, certain issues as an adult, it started when you was a kid. And when I listen to people's childhoods, especially black people as a group, yeah, we know that white people go through. We're not talking about them. We're not about to bring no other race. We're talking about this race. Is a particular thing going on with the black race. And when I listen to some people's experiences, I am literally mortified at what little babies and kids had to endure in this community. Like, you know, now I'm starting to feel like, I don't know, it's hard to say, but I'm starting to feel a lot more sadness than anger at the black community, because a lot of this crazy stuff, like all this sexual abuse with the children, neglect, foster care system, gun violence, gangs, domestic violence, like it goes on way too much. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't think that it's going to not make a murderer out of somebody, thanks, baby. This is my workout attire. I'm actually gaining weight again, so I'm getting back on it. But yeah. Oh, some of the stuff that black kids go through is really unacceptable. Like And I'm not trying to put his business out there, but the like he basically had issues with his parents. He had 9 brothers and sisters, and they all had to go to the foster care system where they experienced some of the most trauma they've ever could experience as kids. And like the dude that I'm with, he was one of the only ones that got to go to a very decent foster care home, but then he had made a mistake, and they was non-tolerant and kicked him out. And when he got kicked out, he had a rude awakening, being abused, being treated crazy. Like I mean, like the what he told me about how they were getting treated, how him and his brothers and sisters were getting treated in this foster care system is so mortifying. I'm like the all the stories he keep telling me, I'm like, this would make anybody a murderer. Period. So we seeing all this degenerate behavior because it's a repetitive cycle of parents having kids that don't need to have no kids. You know what I'm saying? Stop having kids. You know what I'm saying? There's too much trauma in a lot of black people's brain that we're wiping ourselves out due to not going to God. Like I swear, when I read the Bible, because I'm reading it from front to end, I'm looking at it in detail. The Bible is the plight of our people. Like seriously, like no other. And I just can't believe that in real life, if you just dig deep inside yourself to understand that this is a spiritual realm, just this is our physical body, but we are a spirit first, you will see hell in the black community. I'm talking about living hell. Kids getting M word and R worded, and I just can't fathom my kids going through that. I've never been touched ever. I can't fathom, like I complain about my childhood, but when I listen to a lot of these black men's and black women's stories, like I am different by default. There's too many black kids getting really mistreated, and I just could never imagine treating my babies like that, man. Like just straight up putting them through a living hell. And then I observe the dudes that I'm with behavior, and how can you easily trust someone, or not be paranoid that you're going to be abandoned or neglected or misused, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows how to make money. That's the main reason why I'm with him. He knows that. But between us, it's still, when you go through that much trauma, your growth tends to be stunted. And so I'm looking at a 40-year-old baby in my eyes that can make money. He can just make money. But I mean, he's a construction worker, so that off top. But it's just like the stuff that he told me he went through is so mortifying, y'all. Like black men and women, we all going through something in this community. It's all unacceptable, and it's all started in childhood. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanna I just wanna move forward with more love than finger pointed at, like, because yeah, I'm disappointed in our community. Yes, period. It's embarrassing. Everything's embarrassing. I mean, we offing each other at every 5.5 hours. Mothers killing kids, kids killing mothers, just everybody killing. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying for everybody at this point. Amen to that. I'm praying for everybody at this point because our community is going down the drain, and it's embarrassing. Like, it's just embarrassing. It's fixable, but you got to fix it with God. That's another thing. There's so much abuse in the church. It's too much abuse in the church. Like, I'm just like, listen, we don't see TD Jakes donating nothing. Okay, I'm sorry. I even reached out to Sarah Jakes. Like, hey, like y'all getting millions of dollars on one Sunday, and there is black women out here really struggling. You know what I'm saying? There's too many black single mothers out here having to figure out the impossible. You know what I'm saying? And Lord forbid you don't know God, because you're gonna go through hell of a ride. The reason why I have been so blessed is because I always had God in my. I always had a connection with a higher power. I take great care of myself. I take great care of my health. The way my brain thinks is on a very healthy spectrum, you know. But there's some women who don't get it as easy as I do. Call it pretty privilege, whatever you want to call it. I don't never get stuck with people just outright letting me out to dry. Now, my family might leave me out to dry, but then I got YouTube. People really are doing their best to keep me floating right now and trusting me right now when I'm on YouTube. And I'm just really want to make more of an impact on this community, because there's some really mortifying, horrific things going on with children that are making murderers at 7. Like, come on now. I mean, remember the times you felt helpless because injustice as a kid from parents or family members, or we all know the black community, most parents are trash.com. So, you know, a lot of the times we got our feelings were neglected, and we were never able to be ourselves, and things like that. Please like, share, and subscribe. We were never allowed to be ourselves in the black community as black kids. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of trauma and it's a lot of cultural bull crap going on that we just adopted and we find it acceptable. It's not acceptable. There's kids out there really suffering, especially in the foster care system. I'm telling you, I don't even want to get into it because it's gonna make me emotional. But we're fasting together right now, and so when you fast, it brings out the vulnerability in you. That's why you're supposed to fast. You're supposed to be humble before God. You know what I'm saying? And when you fast, it really truly sharpens your brain, and it has you thinking. So he last night we didn't have the energy to talk too much because you're going through a fast. So we didn't have the energy to talk too much to each other when he came home from work. He came in, went to sleep. We both took a nap, and then we both woke up around 7, and I started doing what I needed to do, got on here, and then we started talking, and he just started telling me like just chain events of all the effed up stuff that happened to him. Like, I'm just like, what? Like, the stuff that he told me happened to him. I'm talking about sexual abuse. I'm talking about I'm talking about murder. I'm talking about all types of things that no kid should endure. Like, I literally was so mortified I couldn't even cry. Like, I was like, is that what black men and black women are going through? Oh, that just it kills me, y'all. It kills me because nobody in my family, if anything, like, I complain, I get on here and complain about my childhood, but my childhood was a walk in the park compared to some people's childhoods. Like, when I think about the people who tell me their stories, I am one of the very, very few, I'm telling you, who have gotten molested or or sexually assaulted as a baby. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm telling you, I was very, very sheltered, you know what I mean? And I can't believe some of the things that people tell me they went through as a kid. I'm just like I can't believe somebody would let that happen to a kid. And the pain and the rejection and the abandonment, and he couldn't believe what I was telling him. I'm like, you got low self esteem. Like he can't believe that because this is the type of dude who get what he want by any means necessary. But that's part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? He was so deprived. He told me that in foster care, one of the foster care, um, when he had gotten, had transferred to where his brother and sisters was at, after he was having a great experience at another foster care home. um he told me that the lady would always act like a Christian, just one of the most demonic women that you can be in a foster care system. And she said when it was time for the people to come, she would set it all up like they all good, but behind closed doors, they're only feeding them. They feeding him and his siblings expired food from the pantry, expired food, and telling them they can't eat with regular forks and plates, and telling them to sit on the floor to eat. And oh my god, just the stories he was telling me, I was just like, I can't believe, like, I really want to cry right now. I just can't believe it. Like, there's too many kids behind closed doors getting super abused in the foster care system and getting raped, y'all, and getting, no, like, we have to do something. It's 2022, man. We gotta say the kids. I think if anything, adults are stuck in their ways. You know what I'm saying? But the children, we need to pay more attention to the kids, man. Stop not watching your kids. Like, please. It's so crazy how helpless little kids are, and we just neglect their feelings, and just don't watch them. Kids are sexual around the age of 2. They understand sexual feelings. You can't leave kids alone by themselves too long. I've seen some crazy stuff with my children already. I was like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't touch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not knowing a lot of the times. That's why kids are easily targeted, because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta watch them and you gotta educate them. You can't just let them be effed up like this, y'all. I'm telling you, these kids are out here killing folks. Kids. We talking about kids. They so mad, they so neglected. They so mad that they got brought into this earth just to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer in agonizing pain. Come on. It's time to start a movement for the children. Like, I'm passionate about children. I feel like I'm so hard on myself because I dropped the ball on getting in a wreck. I feel like I really, like, when I honestly can't even think about my children or call them, because I'm nauseated by my mistakes, because I don't want my kids to be away from me. That's why I'm trying to take the time to relax. Like, right now, I'm going to relax, but I need to get my children back by New Year's. I'm serious. Like, I can't. No, no. Like, I'm moving to Reno. I'm moving out of Atlanta. I'm doing what I gotta do. But also, there's a lot of mental anguish from the past dealing with Black folks. You know what I'm saying? That crowds my mind. But I'm finally healthy enough to be able to articulate myself and what I really want to do. Because I don't think I want to just be doing one-on-ones all the time, life coaching, because it's tiring. I want to make just a huge movement. You know what I'm saying? A huge movement, and go from place to place, city to city, and just talk. Like, I want a lot more people to get heard, Like, seriously. It's time to make a change, y'all. I just wanted to get on here and say I apologize for some of the stuff I said. Some of it I still mean. Like, some of it I still mean, but I would just want to come from a loving place. I want to come from a place of love. At this point, we can be so hard on each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting tiring. It's too much people who think they bosses and ain't. Like, you talking all that stuff over the internet. Like, cut it. You know what I'm saying? It's too much evil. I think I just want to come with a more loving approach. Because honestly, when I talk to Black men with love, we ain't talking about no mammy shit. Cause I ain't attracted to most black men, but I will listen to a black man, and I will have a conversation with a black man. And when I just show a little more concern about their story as to why they're so degenerate, you will lighten up. If you hear a lot of these men that's snapping, if you hear their stories of why they robbing and stealing, it really makes too much sense to be mad at them. It really is. Like, I don't know, y'all. We gotta protect the children. But anyways, I'm gonna keep pushing content out. I'm about to go work out. I just came from a walk. I'm trying to set up my Wi-Fi, so I gotta wait for FedEx to drop off the little box or whatever, because somebody stole the first one. But I love y'all, and Dream Jade out.